Well, hello, Comm 101. I have some things I want to talk to you about. Let's start with the discussion boards. Some of you are not completing the discussion board. I think it's kind of interesting. I was looking through the book to try to figure out what happened. In the exercises for critical thinking this time, it says with number 1, and then it has A, B, C, D, E, F, and then it ends. But if you look at the top of the next page, there's G. I don't know. Some of you didn't look at the top of the next page, so you gave incomplete answers. There are 160 points available in this semester on the discussion board, and you'll see that some of you did not get full credit for your discussion board answers, and in part it's because you failed to give a complete answer or follow the directions, and those points could be kind of important. We have posted all of the latest grades, so you can see where you are. Let me talk about that a little bit. If you look at the grades that are posted and then you'll look at the final grade total points, that'll give you an idea of where you are. If you want to take a look at the points available and figure out some things there, but we've already done the math for you, so if you look in the final percentage and you're doing somewhere in the 10 to 11% range, you're doing okay. Hang in there. You're doing pretty good work. Now, we told everybody it's a requirement you send a picture ID in order to pass this class. 5 people have yet to do so. If you'll look on the fantasy name part, if your name is shaded in green, your fantasy name, I have received it. If it's not shaded in green, I have not received it. You folks, for all practical purposes, I don't see any reason for you to go on in this class if you do not send me that ID. It is grossly overdue. In fact, I will not accept any more after Monday if you have not already sent it, and that's like the second time that I've said I will not accept any more. I guarantee you I will not accept any more after Monday, and I guarantee you that if I do not have it, you will not pass this class for failure to submit the required materials. All right, a couple of things. In your speeches, you're supposed to do a speaking outline and a speech outline and all of those kinds of things. Some of you don't do that. Make sure you do that. You have coming up a process speech. So let's talk a little bit about the process speech. Not all of you have done it yet. You are essentially doing a kind of a how-to speech. And I guess the best example I could give you is watch one of the cooking shows on television and watch how they do things. They do not painfully go through each tiny little step. All of their stuff is already measured out. So they just say you put in a teaspoon of this and a teaspoon of that, and they just dump it. They don't have them measure the teaspoon and then dump it. It's all done ahead of time. And also, if you'll notice on the cooking shows, they tell you how to do things, and then you let that set for a while, and then this is what it looks like when you've done it. All right? Don't do all of the steps. Abbreviate some of the steps and say things like, and then it looks like this. One of the interesting things is that when I'm sitting here watching some of those, especially if you're telling me how to cook something, I'm literally screaming inside my head, show me what it looks like when it's done. And occasionally somebody actually says, just like they do on the cooking shows, and we'll put this in the oven and have it cooked for 2 hours at 360. And here's one to show you what it looks like when it's done. Yes! That's the kind of thing we're looking for, is don't go through painful steps and all of the minutia and all of the details. I can figure out some of that stuff, so kind of work on it. You're going to select a topic that's useful and interesting. You're going to explain how something works or the steps that are involved in order to do something. Your goal is to not express your attitude or personal viewpoint on the topic. Do not urge the audience to act on your topic. Just inform them. You can refer to the chapters 375 to 378 of chapter 14 on those pages for more information on the process speech. This speech is worth 100 points. Don't forget the audience requirement. Don't forget the things that I said when I critiqued last time. Some of you are not showing me the audience. Some of you are not getting the proper shots. Some of you don't have enough light on your face that I can see your eyes so that I know what kind of eye contact you have, which is crucial in speaking. I was reading some of your comments too on the previous discussion board where you were talking about some of the tips for speakers, and somebody commented that they were relieved that you didn't have to give the, so to speak, the second coming speech, that every speech is not the keynote speech to some big national meeting someplace. And I think that's important to stress. What I'm looking for from you in this class is your ability to communicate to me. Tell me a story. Keep it simple, and tell me a story. Be conversational. I am not looking for perfection. That's not, number one, that's not my role as a teacher. And there's less than 1% of anyone that would ever take a speech class that ever feels like that's what they want to do in the first place. Most of you are just so grateful to get it over with that you don't really care. And I'm not averse to that. So what I'm saying to you is relax, talk to me, watch the grammar, but I'm not going to go nuts because you did something that in a formal speech situation would get you kicked out of the hall. That's not my purpose in this class. My purpose, and I'll say it again, is to get you to the point where at the end of this class, no matter how terrified you were during and before, that at the end of this class you'll have a little bit more confidence, that if you had to go to a school board meeting on behalf of your child or to a city or a county council meeting on behalf of yourself, you would not be so terrified that you would be reluctant to do that. Check the syllabus to see what it means to miss a speech or not to turn in some of the things that you need to turn in. Mostly, if you'll follow the directions, you'll do well in this class. And I want to reiterate, because I think that some of you make a bigger deal out of this than you need to, especially with me. And I'll give you, not all speech teachers function the way I do. I want you to feel comfortable when you speak as much as possible. I want you to talk to me, not at me. I want your speeches to be the kinds of things you would want to talk about with your friends. I don't want you to reach out and get some highfalutin topic that, well, this one's an important one. Client will really like it if I talk about this. Yeah, I'd rather have you talk about something you're interested in than something you think that is on the world stage of something or is mightily important and you need to cover that terribly important topic. Talk to me. Try to convey a friendship in your speech that is on the nature of, if you and I were just talking and I had an idea about something that was going on, or I wanted to show you something, or I wanted to try to tell you how I felt about something, that's the kind of speaking that I'm looking for in this class. Some of you have a nice approach already. Some of you are working toward that. The real issue is maximize the things you can maximize. If I can't see you, it's going to lower your score on the speech. If I can't hear you, it's going to lower your score on the speech. In a face-to-face class, you get one try. There are no redos. And I know that some of you are turning off your camera and then submitting the 14th take of something. Technically, I don't know that you do that, but technically if you did, you're violating the purpose of this course. So don't edit anything. Don't turn the camera off once you start. And make sure you follow all of the convention and directions that we give in this class about how to introduce the audience and how to do things and where to stand and all of the other stuff. And then somebody told me that, Klein, when you talk, you want to use the KISS method. And I didn't know what they meant at first. The Klein method of speaking, the KISS method. And it fit me very much at first, and that is KISS, K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, stupid. And that's stupid in that case was Klein. And just keep it simple. And try to enjoy it. Try to pick topics that you really have some interest in and go from there. Okay? Wish you well on your process speech. Look forward to seeing them. And we'll talk when I get all of those with the critiques next time. Keep up with the discussion boards. You're leaving points on the table. Please take special care and attention to read what the directions are and follow them to the letter. Have a good one. And the weather's warming up, so things are melting, and it'll be a good week next week.